There comes a moment, often in the quiet hours of the afternoon, when the ticking of the clock seems louder than usual, not because the world is noisier, but because the house is quieter. The phone doesn't ring like it used to. The doorstep stays empty. And for many elderly souls, that moment stretches into days, then months. You were once the one they leaned on. The one who held hands, told bedtime stories, made the house a home. But now? Now the silence can feel like a stranger who never leaves. And yet, in that silence, there's still strength. In that empty chair by the window. There's still wisdom waiting to rise. Being forgotten doesn't mean being finished. Living alone doesn't mean living without purpose. This is not a story of pity. This is a story of quiet resilience. Of standing tall even when no one's watching. So if you or someone you love feels like the world has moved on without them, stay with me, because this story is yours. And in the next few minutes, we'll uncover 7 ways to not only survive, but to thrive, even when life gets very, very quiet. Number 1, create a life-giving routine. There's a kind of power in the ordinary, waking up each morning not to rush, not to chase, but simply to begin again. The kettle whispers in the kitchen, the curtains gently breathe as sunlight reaches in. In those quiet rituals, you shape the rhythm of your own day. Having no one in the house doesn't mean you're lost in it. It simply means you get to decide what matters most. So begin with something small. Make your bed as though you were expecting a guest. Boil water and pour yourself tea in the nicest cup you own. Stretch your arms towards the ceiling and greet the day like it's a gift rather than a chore. Our minds love the familiar, the predictable, the kind. Create a morning rhythm that lifts you, not tires you. Water the plants. Wipe the table while listening to music that reminds you of something good. Set aside 10 minutes just to sit in the sun if there's any, even if there isn't. Open the window anyway. The breeze remind you that the world is still breathing with you. There's a myth that life has to be exciting to be fulfilling, but many of the most beautiful lives are simply well-arranged moments, strung together moments where you remember to smile at your reflection, to sit down with a plate of food you made with love, even if it's just for one to read a book aloud, just to hear your own voice say something lovely. Routine is not about control, it's about comfort. It's about creating spaces where anxiety has no room to sit, where sadness may visit, but can unpack. Each small habit you choose is like planting a seed, and day by day, those seeds grow into a sense of safety, a kind of invisible shelter around you, one that doesn't rely on someone else being there, but on your decision to show up for yourself. So today, and every day you can, build a rhythm you can look forward to, not because life is perfect, but because you are still here, still breathing, still worthy of a day that begins with care. Number 2, safety first, but make it charming. Let's talk about safety, shall we now? I know it doesn't sound very glamorous while they talk about travel or memories or cake, but safety is the quiet little guardian that lets you keep enjoying those things. Living alone as a senior is like being the captain of your own ship. You get to decide the route, the music, and the speed, but even the best captains keep a lifeboat ready, not because they expect disaster, but because they value peace of mind. So here's the truth wrapped in a knitted blanket. You need a safety plan that actually makes you smile. First things first, have something you can press in case of an emergency. A lovely little button on a necklace perhaps, or a wristband. Let's call it your magic wand, because when you press it, help appears. How magical is that? Next, consider motion sensor lights. Yes, those brilliant inventions that light up your hallway when you wander out for a midnight biscuit. They keep you from dancing with the coffee table in the dark. And let's face it, you've done that tango once or twice before. Make sure the bathroom is slip-proof. No one wants to reenact Swan Lake on wet tiles. Grab bars, non-slip mats, and a stool in the shower can make a world of difference if it helps. Imagine you're turning your bathroom into a 5-star spa, only with more dignity and fewer bruises. Another underrated hero, humble neighbor, not the nosy one with binoculars, but the kind one who smiles when you wave from the garden. Let 1 or 2 trusted neighbors know you live alone, not because you're helpless, but because humans were built for community. Even if it's just a shout over the fence now and then, and don't forget about regular check-in. Set a time each day to call a friend, or even have someone ring you. You could call it the daily gossip exchange. Even if you've got no gossip, you can always make up a scandal about the cat stealing your socks against safety. Doesn't have to be stiff or sterile. It can be gentle, warm, and full of personality. It's not about fearing what might happen. It's about making sure you've got the tools to dance right through it, because the truth is, you are not fragile, you're wise. And being wise means knowing how to outsmart gravity. Silence and stubborn front doors, so set up your space not just with care but with charm, because safety, dear one, is just love wearing sensible shoes. If you found this video meaningful, don't forget to subscribe and join our community where we celebrate life's later chapters with heart, humor, and hope. 3. Grow something beautiful. No matter how small, there's something about placing your hands in the soil that quiets the mind. Not because the earth whispers back, but because your heart begins to. You see, when you live alone, days can sometimes feel shapeless like mist without edges. But a garden, a garden gives shape to the hours. It gives you someone to talk to, even if it's just a stubborn tomato plant refusing to cooperate. Doesn't have to be grand. You don't need a sweeping landscape or perfectly manicured beds, a few pots on a balcony, window box filled with herbs even, and an old bucket repurposed with love. Each one becomes a companion, a little green reminder that life still pushes forward no matter what. Every morning becomes a little ceremony. You greet the plants, check their leaves, whisper things you wouldn't say to a human, because plants never judge you. Water them not just for their sake, but for yours. And as they grow, so do you there. That's a quiet magic in watching something bloom, especially when no one else is watching. A sprout breaking through the soily bud, opening at dawn, a humble chili pepper turning red like it's blushing from too much sun. And when it's time to harvest, even if it's just one cucumber or a handful of basil, feel like royalty. Dinner isn't just food, it's a celebration of patience, a gift from the earth and from you. Gardening gives you purpose without pressure. It doesn't care what you look like or whether you got everything right today. It just asks for a little teamy, a little care. And in return it offers color, fragrance, and joy in unexpected places. Not to mention its excellent exercise, gentle stretching, reaching, squatting. You might not even realize you've been moving your body for an hour until you sit down and think, well, that explains the creaky knees. And there's humor in gardening too. The squirrel who keeps stealing your strawberries, the cat who thinks your flower bed is a personal throne, carrot that came out looking like it's dancing the waltz. But above all, gardening reminds you that even when things look quiet above the surface, there's growth happening underneath, just like in use. Or if you have a small patch of sun or even a pot by the sink, let it be your sanctuary, let it be your therapy. Let it be the living proof that you are still a caretaker, still someone who brings beauty into the world, one leaf at a time. Number 4, a companion with 4 legs and 1,000 lessons. There's something extraordinary about coming home and being greeted by a creature who doesn't care what time it is, or what your hair looks like, or how many times you reheated the same cup of tea. They just come running, or waddling, or flopping with joy, because in their eyes, you are everything. A pet isn't just an animal. They are rhythm, company, a reason to open the door and say good morning, even if you haven't spoken to a single soul in days. Let's be honest, sometimes people forget. They forget to check in, forget to call, forget that you still have stories to tell. But a cat never forgets when it's dinner time, and a dog certainly never forgets where you keep the treats. Pets keep you in motion. They nudge your hands, paw at your heart, and demand that you stay part of the world. They don't allow you to vanish into silence, because every day with them is a conversation without words. And the funny thing is, they teach you things you didn't even know you've forgotten. To laugh when the dog chases its tail. To slow down when the cat naps in the sun. And you think, why don't I do that too? They make you clean the floor more often. Sure, but they also clean a part of your soul that had started to feel dusty. That quiet ache that grows when you think you're the only one left suddenly feels lighter, because now someone waits for you. Every single day, you become needed again, and being needed is one of the most healing feelings there is. Even a bird, a rabbit, a small tank of fish that flutter like thoughts, they all bring back structure, affection, and the sweetest sense of being seen. Yes, there's work. Yes, there's commitment. But what you get in return is a heartbeat beside yours. A quiet protector, a tiny clown, a soft reason to get out of bed. 2. Laugh out loud when no one's around, to whisper secrets that only ears with fur or feathers can hold. So if the days feel too long and the nights too still, consider letting a little life share your space. Not to fill a void, but to help you remember that joy, companionship, and unconditional love are never too far away. Sometimes they're curled up at your feet, snoring gently, dreaming of you. Number 5. Little connections, big hearts. Even when the house is quiet and the phone seldom rings, you can weave a web of warmth that stretches far beyond your walls. Because staying connected isn't about grand gestures, it's about small moments that say, I see you, I remember you. A handwritten letter, not just words on paper, but a touch of you carried across miles, folding memories between creases, each word a gentle handshake from your heart to theirs, or a phone call that isn't rushed, where silences aren't awkward but a comfort, where laughter bubbles up like a secret, and stories are shared like treasured heirlooms. Video chats, where faces light up on screens and eyes sparkle with recognition, where distance shrinks to a shared smile, and pets might make cameo appearances, turning technology into a bridge, not a barrier. Local groups, the library book club, the gardening circle, a knitting group, where every stitch knits more than wool, it knits friendship, belonging, and purpose. Even simple routines like waving to a neighbor from your window, or sharing a recipe through a community newsletter, are threads in the fabric of connection, proof that no one is truly alone. And sometimes it's about embracing the new, trying a class, joining a workshop, discovering that friendships can bloom. Even in the most unexpected places, it's easy to feel forgotten when your world shrinks. But by reaching out in little ways, you remind yourself and others that you matter, that your story is still unfolding. And that love and laughter don't need an audience, just an open heart. So pick up the pen, make that call, open the door to new faces and familiar voices, because connection, no matter how small, is the heartbeat that keeps us thriving. Number 6. The power of routine, a quiet shield. There's magic in the everyday. A rhythm that anchors you when the world feels unsteady, waking up at the same time, stretching with the sun, brewing a cup of tea just the way you like it, simple. Rituals become tiny acts of courage, a way to say to yourself, I am here, I am steady, even when the days seem long and lonely, making the bed, tidying the space. Keeping the house just so becomes more than chores, they're little victories, proof that you're still in control. Meal times, preparing food that nourishes both body and soul, trying a new recipe, or sticking to an old favorite that brings back memories. These moments keep you grounded and remind you that you're worth the care. Daily walks, even if it's just around the garden or down the hall, keeps your body moving and your mind alert. The fresh air filling your lungs, a reminder that life is still moving forward. And when the evening comes, lighting a candle, settling into a favorite chair, listening to music that lifts your spirits, or reading a book that feels like an old friend, routine becomes your quiet shield, protecting you from the chaos outside and from the silence that sometimes threatens to swallow you whole. It's not about perfection or ticking boxes on a list. It's about creating moments of peace, moments where you can breathe, where you can feel safe, where you can find joy in the ordinary. So embrace the power of routine, because in those familiar rhythms, you find strength, comfort, and the courage to face another day. Number 7, a fortress of your own safety and familiar spaces. Your home is more than 4 walls and a roof. It's the place where your story lives, where memories whisper in every corner, and where you deserve to feel safe completely, but living. Alone can bring worries, the creaks at night, the flicker of a shadow, the sudden thought, what if something happens? So it's wise to build your own fortress, not with bricks or locks alone, but with simple steps that keep peace close. Check your smoke alarms. Change the batteries without waiting for the beep. Keep a flashlight handy, because light can be a great comfort in the dark. Secure your doors and windows. A sturdy lock is like a friendly guard. But don't forget to keep keys where you can find them quickly, because safety is also about ease. Consider small gadgets, like motion sensor lights or emergency alert buttons. They might sound like technology for someone else, but they become trusted allies in your daily life. Clear walkways to avoid stumbles. Keep rugs flat in furniture where you expect it, because nothing ruins a peaceful day like a sudden trip. Have a list of important numbers nearby: neighbors, family, doctors, friends. So when you pick up the phone, help is never far away. And don't underestimate the power of a good neighbor, a friendly face down the hall, someone who looks out for you, and who you can call just to hear a kind voice. Making your home safe isn't about fear. It's about respect for yourself, for the life you've built, and for the days yet to come. So fortify your space with care, because when you feel safe, you can breathe easier, laugh louder, and live fully. Your home is your fortress, and you are its brave, strong guardian. In the journey of life, especially when walking it alone, remembering that strength comes from within and from the small choices we make every day is everything. From welcoming the warmth of a pet's presence to nurturing little connections that remind us we belong. From finding comfort in daily routines to creating a safe and loving home that embraces us fully. You are never truly alone. Your story continues with courage and grace. And every step you take is a powerful testament to your resilience. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. If you found hope, strength, or even a smile in this message, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to stay connected. Because together, we can build a community where every senior feels seen, valued, and loved. Stay strong, stay safe. And remember, joy can be found in the smallest moments. We'll see you in the next video.